Hi guys, my name is Gowrish, and I'm your host today. Welcome to Just the Sports. So for episode number two, I brought on my favorite guest so far. No disrespect to Sanjay, my brother. So would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I'm Shri. I'm Avi's older brother. I'm a junior at UTD, and yeah, I'm glad to be here. Glad I have the opportunity to talk with my brother about sports.
Yeah, well, just think we do this on a daily basis. I just
Yeah,
have to
that is
record
true.
it so
Yeah,
know, you guys experience all the fun. So today we're going to be talking about NFL and football, right? So if you don't know, me and my brothers are big 49ers fans, so the content might be slightly based on the 49ers. Next time I'll bring on a Cowboys fan and we'll start the Cowboys slander. But for now, let's focus on the 49ers. So, how do you feel about the 49ers season so far?
yeah. I mean, of course, being you both are big Niners fans, of course. This year has been quite a roller coaster. We had some big injuries from the start. We lost Nick Bosa. We lost Fred Warner. Our wide receiver is nowhere to be found. So, and we
Has it
lost
been in
Brock
the
Purdy.
We
So,
did lose
yeah,
Brock Purdy.
we did. So it's been a rough start, but so far, we got a better defensive coach with Robert Saleh now, and Kyle Shanahan has produced some results.
Yep.
Everything but a ring. Yeah, this year might be our year, but yeah, so far, roller coaster, but we're bringing it back. We're competing for the NFC number one
Number one
seed
seed?
this, yeah,
Yeah.
number one seed this Saturday. Yeah.
I guess the Seahawks, yeah. We'll love to I'd love to see how this match plays out. But so you actually mentioned a wide receiver that has been missing. According to one of our receivers, Kendrick Bourne, I think, he
Yeah.
stated that Brandon Ayuk was not to be seen for 2 months. I mean, what are your thoughts and opinions on that?
Yeah, not just him. Even Kyle Shanahan said that he has disappeared from all the meetings ever since he's been injured. First everyone thought it was just injury, he's taking time away from the field. But if you look at people like George Kittle, who was out for last game, he was still on the sidelines. Fred Warner with the torn ACL was still on the sidelines supporting his team, his guy replacing him.
Who I
So
also don't want to interrupt. I'm going to get to this later, but Fred Warner might also be making a return. But yeah, continue.
yeah, that is true. But yeah, see, like everyone else that was injured, even CMC, we didn't have him for a couple games. Brock, he was still on the sidelines helping Mac, who also had a unbelievable season with the Niners. He got us this far. Our record, a lot of it's due to him up till like 4 or 5 weeks ago. So yeah, I mean, at first we thought it was because of coaching, or maybe it was just bad injury. But now it looks like he's given up on the team almost.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate now since
Yeah,
I started to look up to this guy. Him and Debo Samuel and CMC. We almost had our year, but our great, friendly team. The Chiefs decide to ruin our season. So I'll also be making an episode on just slandering the Chiefs too. So please tune in for that too. But so you also mentioned injuries, right? So
hmm
this year, I mean, it's been really fun for some, but injuries have been a really big problem. So one of the first few injuries that I saw was Malik Neighbors, and if you remember, with Malik Neighbors, there was a huge discussion about the turf in the New York Giants stadium. So how do you feel about his injury?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it was a big injury, Malik Neighbors, especially, second year in the league. He had a great league last season, with their whole quarterback debacle with Daniel Jones being out and Tommy DeVito also not fitting in with their scheme properly. But even through that, he did have, good performances. And especially we were looking, especially a lot of Giants fans were hoping for a better season this year, but unfortunately it was cut short, due to the unfortunate turf field of MetLife Stadium, which has gotten a lot of injuries over the years. And I think it's a big discussion that they should consider changing it to grass because, it's been a big problem. A lot of injuries have happened. Nothing that comes to the top of my head, but, the turf injuries have always been a big issue with the NFL. A lot of players ask for it, a lot of coaches complain for it. And I think it's worth the investment, to help improve football for fans and for the players who are actually on the field.
Yeah, Cam Scatterbo too, also a big injury. Jackson Dart, the whole New York Giants thing
Yeah,
is collapsing. It's really sad to see because you had such an exciting core, but now it's just crumbling. But
of
we
course,
were
yeah.
talking about, a quarterback debacle, and I know you love slating this one quarterback. Tua Tagovailoa, or as you like to call him, Tua Tagovailoa. So, he also, even in Miami, there's a huge, situation with the wide receivers, Tyreek Hill, and his gruesome injury. How
Of
do you
course,
feel
yeah.
about how do you feel about Tyreek Hill's not only the Miami Dolphins situation with their coaches, but also Tyreek Hill's situation? Will he be approaching free agency or
Based on what he said, he's trying to look at other avenues than football, and he's the QB situation over the past couple years has been pretty terrible in Miami. There's a disconnect between the players and their quarterback. The guy that leads them on the field, especially with Tua accepting and laughing in the media room about their losses and like having no expectations almost. It's very demotivating, especially for the coach, who Mike McDaniels, who's also on hot water about where his future is going to be. And I think Tua maybe a few years out. I don't know. I don't know if Tyreek's going to return or not. And even if he does, I know it's definitely not with the Dolphins. But yeah, even Tua, I don't know how long he's going to have that Dolphins QB job anymore, especially with the way things are going now. Yeah.
yeah. And next up, the next big injury I want to talk about is our dear friend Patrick Mahomes. So starting off, do you have any messages for Chiefs fans who are might watch be
Uh,
watching this
I
video?
mean, I just want to say how sad I am for Chiefs fans. Truly,
I'm not. I'm not at all.
uh, yeah, I'm so heartbroken over Mahomes'
He's
injury.
enjoying this season. We are enjoying this season.
Your negative record truly breaks my heart. I still remember the 2023 ring. Yeah, it's just so
Yeah.
heartbreaking that Mahomes got injured and Kelsey's gonna retire. I'm truly heartbroken.
Yeah. If we had Dre Greenlaw, that was our championship to win.
Yeah.
But Patrick Mahomes' injury, I mean, and with Travis Kelce retiring, how the Chiefs, I mean, their once powerful, powerful team now just kind of looks. I mean, Patrick Mahomes will obviously return, but with Travis Kelce gone, how do you think the future for the Chiefs will look?
Yeah, Travis Kelsey hasn't confirmed yet, but it's highly speculated he's going to retire. But even then, with the past few seasons, he's not. It's not the same caliber player he was once. As far as Patrick Mahomes, yeah, this injury, looking at it from an unbiased perspective, he's still one of he's chasing Tom Brady's records. I was looking at a statistic a couple days ago. They've had a similar first 7 or 8 season, like the amount of seasons he's played. They both had 3 rings, but Mahomes has won more MVPs. But we can say, especially due to recency bias, that the referees prefer Mahomes and all the calls. The holdings, the
Pass interferences.
pass interferences, offsides. It's all clear, and people say it's happened during Tom Brady's era too. But with the cameras and social media presence now, we can clearly see what the Chiefs do have some favoritism from the refs. But yeah, this season I think it's really eye opening for them. I feel like the dynasty they had developed, especially with the defeat to the Eagles last year, which wasn't as close as the score said, even though it was 40-22, if I'm not wrong. The game was over by the third quarter. Like it
Yeah.
was just a few check down passes to forgot his name. Not sure, but the game was over. The game was over. No one was doubting if it was going to be Eagles Chiefs till like the final minute. It was just the points were there, but they were meaningful points. So with that season, everyone's thinking one season. Let's not write off the Chiefs yet. But then this year they were off to a rocky start. Again, a lot of disagreements between Kelsey and Coach Reed. We saw, I think, a game or two, and then of
I
course with
think,
Mahomes' injury, it was the nail in the coffin for this season at
hmm
least.
correct me if I'm wrong, they're off of playoff contention, right? Am
Yeah,
I?
obviously, yeah. I think they're like
Oh, okay.
6-9 or 6-10. I'm not really
Oof.
sure, but yeah, I think they
Yeah.
have a negative record if I'm not wrong.
Yeah. This guy, he's being very, polite. He's my brother. I know him, and he knows me very well. And since it's my podcast, I'm gonna be completely open. I think it's karma, with all the unbiased ref calls. So yeah, it's you can I don't want to say I'm happy, but maybe a little bit.
Yeah, they're
No
six and
disrespect
ten.
to Patrick Mahomes.
They're six
Yeah,
and ten. I just checked.
that's great. But speaking of Patrick Mahomes, one name that always pops up is Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. I mean, I
Yeah,
can't find the word to describe their season. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. They're breaking even. They're 8-8 right now, but still, with Derrick Henry, everyone thought this team was, it was Lamar Jackson's year. He
and
got the
Jair
two
Alexander.
MVPs. And Jair Alexander, yep, the cornerback. They have, I think, they still have Marlon Humphrey yet, or do they not?
I know Jair Alexander got traded,
Yeah,
if I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, everyone thought just Derrick Henry alone would carry this team. You know, Mark Andrews, who this season,
Oof.
little rough. If I'm being nice, but yeah, especially with Derrick Henry. You know, the games he's been putting up. I know, like the last game, they sat him out for the last 12 minutes or a couple games ago, even when he was having like a career night. So yeah, this team, I thought personally, I thought this was going to be the Ravens' year. Or at least I thought they would like go far in the playoffs, but with an 8-8 record, there are a lot of other teams better in the East right now, or the AFC.
hmm
Sorry. So yeah, I don't know. I thought the Ravens were gonna have a much better year, but I guess I was wrong.
So another big quarterback, Joe Burrow. And I mean, this offseason I mean, I think we all kind of knew what was going on when they re-signed Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T.
T
Higgins.
Higgins, yeah,
Yeah, but no, it's all crumbling down for them too. So Joe Burrow's
yeah.
injury, how do you feel about, that and the Bengals' future?
I mean, I want to say he's injury prone, and I love Joe Burrow, but it's a lot of injuries over there in the Bengals locker room. I just saw the other day that Jamar Chase had I think it's his consistent 1,000 yard season again. So you can't blame it on the receiver core. And T Higgins is also another great receiver. I mean, their O line has a history of being less than adequate. Uh,
Garbage.
garbage, garbage. Yeah, sure, you could use that term as well. Yeah, I mean, really, I mean, I mean, I don't know. You could say Joe Burrow is injury prone, but he hasn't had a lot of help on that end. I mean, he is back now, and then they did get a veteran QB in Joe Flacco. But again, another disappointing season from the Bengals after that 2021 run against the Rams, where we thought they would win. But
Yes. Yes, I do remember that.
I personally thought they were going to win. But yeah, after that, it has nothing to write about the Bengals so far ever since the past 4 years. Yeah,
There's not a lot of things, worse than the Bengals O line, except for the Bengals' defense, which, has been absolutely great, fantastic, fantastic defense. But yeah, the Bengals can put up 40 points, but they can still lose because of their defense. I'm saying this like metaphorically, but maybe it's also literal too, you know?
of course,
So,
yeah.
another big injury, or big trade too. People compare it to the Luca trade of the NBA, which I was talking to Sanjay about. Michael Parsons, him, Dallas lost both of their generational talents, so it must be a great time here.
Yeah, great year to be in Dallas. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Jerry was thinking. I felt like Micah Parsons was worth the money, and now they lost Trayvon Diggs too. So the two 7 and 11 in the Cowboys team are both gone. I mean, both. I mean, yeah, the Cowboys have had a lot of issues,
Their offense is
signings
great.
wise. And then even on draft day, a lot there were people expecting a lot from the Cowboys and Jerry Jones, that management to make some good picks. But yeah, I mean, they lost Micah. Trayvon Diggs has now been released from the team due to some disagreements and the concussion with setting up the TV. I'm sure that didn't help.
Oh,
Yeah, and then even asked to stay home in DC to visit his family, which the coach denied. So yeah, there's a lot of tension between the players, especially Trayvon and the coach. Uh, but yeah, since he's released now, so yeah, they've lost two major parts of their
defense.
defense this year. I mean, Dak is still leading in, I think, passing yards in the league, if I'm not wrong, this season still. But I don't think it's going to amount to anything since it's another losing season for them.
And they have my favorite player, George Pickens, also on the team, with
Yeah,
one of the
another
best
addition.
receiving cores, but their defense is just crumbling again and again. And I heard a joke, I'm not sure if it's if it because I don't know. Someone said that Jerry Jones accidentally released Trayvon Diggs thinking it was, Stephon Diggs, and like because Stephon Diggs has his off court problems. I mean off court, off the field problems. And he thought it was Trayvon Diggs who had those problems, but it's up to your interpretation. But now going to our favorite team, and unfortunately, it is our favorite team. Fred Warner and Nick Bosa and their injuries.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it was heartbreaking. We lost them very quick. We lost Brock Purdy for a while. We lost George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey. But yeah, I mean, Fred Warner's injury was mainly one that caught me off surprise because Fred Warner's never been injured in his career so far. This was his first major injury. It was supposed to be a season-ending injury, but there are talks that he's going to come back for playoffs, which I really hope he does. with him, our run is going to be a lot easier, especially with the Super Bowl being in the Bay this year. So I feel like it's destiny that the Niners win, which I say every year, but hopefully this year is true. Yeah, I mean the injuries they were really major. Everyone thought the Niners season was going to be over before it started, especially with the rough season last year, and we lost Debo. Brandon Ayuk's injured, but yeah, our receiver core, though it is not what it used to be, but Juwan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, both great additions. Even in our tight end, George Kittle's was out, but we have people to make up for him. And Christian McCaffrey is having one of his one of his better seasons in his career. Already 1,000 yards receiving plus. I mean, rushing, and he's about to get 1,000 yards receiving too. And then Brock Purdy has been the best QB for the past 2 weeks in the league. So yeah, I mean, our run is looking a lot more promising than it was. Well, I don't know, 8 or 9 weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to throw this statistic at you because we lost Brock Purdy and our replacement, Mac Jones. So, which was a big surprise because, including me, maybe not you, but me, if I'm being honest, I had very low expectations, but he popped off, right? And a good statistic I wanted to tell you is when it comes to out-breaking routes completion leaders, Brock is number one, and Mac Jones is actually number two, So
Wow.
yeah, it's a really interesting statistic, but no, these quarterbacks are no, Mac Jones unexpectedly doing good. One quarterback that is unexpectedly doing bad, or in my opinion, bad. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. How do you feel about their season and everything?
You're trying to get me in trouble. I mean, yeah, the Eagles. Yeah, a lot of. I mean, I think they still won their division if I'm not wrong, but yeah, I mean, there was a lot of trouble throughout the season. Jalen Hurts, there's AJ Brown was very vocal about how he's not getting enough targets, and there was a lot of terrible plays that involved Jalen Hurts, especially the two turnover in one play, which really that helped his case.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, he did bring it back the game after that. I think he threw for like 300 yards. But yeah, I mean, they had some trouble again, just like a lot of teams this year. I mean, on the other hand, if you look at the Colts, who started off very strong, I think they were 7-1. Then they lost uh, Daniel Jones,
Yeah,
and
they also got Sauce Gardner. No.
yeah, they did get Sauce Gardner. They did bring back 44-year-old Philip Rivers, but in the end, it was once looked like a promising season for the Colts, but turned out to be not so much. But yeah, I mean, a lot of teams had a very, very roller coaster type season. A lot of ups and downs. Like the uh, like the Niners, of course, the Eagles. A lot of teams had a consistently dominant performance, like the Rams, who were, Rams, Patriots, both great teams. Both are very, very in contention for the Super Bowl this year. So yeah, I mean, it was a surprising season to say the least. Teams that were last, like the Bears, are now big competitors with that game against the Niners last week. That was probably one of the best games I've ever seen. So yeah, it's been an interesting season to say the least.
So, you mentioned, Jalen Hurts. Obviously, people last year they said he was going to be the MVP. No, he's nowhere close to being the MVP in my opinion, right? Daniel Jones, someone who was actually looking to be the MVP, but unfortunately got injured. And you also mentioned the Patriots, who have Drake May. So,
Yeah,
the question I'm leading up to is the MVP race. Who are your top, who are your top people to win it, and who are some people that you're still skeptical of?
I mean, skeptical of, I'm not really sure, but I think in my personal opinion, I think it is Drake May, or nickname wise, Drake May. He's had a great season. He's brought the Patriots back. It's like watching Tom Brady again. Mike Vrabel is their coach. They tried to use a former Patriots player last year. It didn't work out, but this year with Mike Vrabel coming back to the Patriots, it's been working out very good, if not great. They got Stephon Diggs, who has been performing very, very impressive. Getting the targets he needs, getting the pass he needs, which Drake May has been doing consistently. They beat the Bills. So yeah, I honestly think Drake May has brought back the Patriots. After the dynasty of Tom Brady, it's been a very, very rough few seasons. A lot of expectations on Mac Jones. He didn't perform. And last year, it was Drake May was still a rookie, so you couldn't put a lot on him. But yeah, it was his breakout season. I truly think he is my MVP candidate at least.
And if you also didn't know before, I mean, right when Stephon Diggs actually came to the New England Patriots in the offseason, there were some controversies saying that Stephon Diggs was a very toxic receiver and he's going to put too much pressure on Drake May, but we can obviously see that it's working out great, right? So you also talked about the Super Bowl. That's like coming up to the last topic, contenders and pretenders. So who are some people that you really believe in making the Super Bowl, and who are some people that you're like, I don't really know about playoffs?
Well, I feel like I'm obligated to say the Niners are going to win the Super Bowl, which I truly
Hopefully.
believe in. No, 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 no. They're going to win this year. Uh,
Okay.
I think the Seahawks are pretenders. I don't think they have a real team.
Okay.
I think it's all just luck. Um,
I love to see news reactions for that.
Seahawks are a terrible team, and they will continue to be so. We crush them every time, and we'll crush them
Completely
tomorrow
unbiased.
or in 2 days from now. Yeah, completely unbiased, of course. I'm just stating obvious facts. I mean, again, Patriots, very big chance from the AFC. Um, Even the Jaguars, had a great season too.
Oh, they're not. They haven't been talked about a lot. I haven't seen
Yeah,
much about the
Jaguars. I
Jaguars.
mean, they're 12-4. They're a good team. Um, what's his name? Travis Hunter. He's done the work there. So yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of good teams in the AFC, and the NFC is it's gonna be a fight because when you look at just the NFC West, other than the Cardinals who have had a unsurprisingly terrible season as always.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
I mean, you look at it like there's three Super Bowl contenders in that one division alone. So it's going to be a gritty fight to get to the to get to the Super Bowl from the NFC side. But I mean, pretenders wise, I don't know how the Texans are going to do playoffs wise. But yeah, I think in the AFC, I think the true contenders are, in my opinion, if I want to say one name that I'm very confident about, I think it's the Patriots. I think we're going to see the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
That's a good take. Maybe the Patriots dynasty comes back. Hopefully
Yeah,
after a 49ers dynasty, but
yeah.
let's
Even the
see.
Broncos, Broncos great season too. They've had
Hmm.
a great season. Even the Chargers as well. Yeah, again, to me, I think AFC wise, it's either the Broncos or the Patriots. I mean, I forgot to say the Broncos earlier, but they've also had a great season. Bo Nix. A lot of the younger quarterbacks are really, really coming to their own this year.
Hmm.
It's fun to watch.
So to end this episode off, like I did with last episode, hot takes. What is your biggest hot take for the 2025 NFL season?
Oh, this season or next season?
This
Because this
season.
season's almost over.
Yeah, this season. This season.
This season.
Or
Hot,
anything. Like,
hot take.
yeah. It has to be hot though.
I
Maybe.
think, I think Brock Purdy's going to win the MVP next year.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
I usually like I did with Sanjay. Actually, I didn't. No, I usually like to debate a little bit, but since I'm a 49ers fan, I think it's a completely normal take. It's a great take.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Thank you. Yeah.
yeah,
It's very
yeah,
I researched my hot take, so
yeah.
it's gonna be very
We
accurate.
forgot about the Cowboys, not making the playoffs next season too. If maybe
Yeah, I
that's a
mean
great
that's just
take.
a usual NFL season for the past 20 years.
Yep, no. But anyways, thank you for coming on to my podcast. It's a great pleasure to interview you and talk about because really guys I mean I watch football here and there, but I'm not really a football connoisseur. My thing is more so basketball and F1, which I will get an episode on that too. But yeah, thank you for teaching me a little bit about football and coming on to my podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity, Abby. I really appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you, man. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.